So we are good to go. I'll start with an intro about yourself. Hello.
Yeah, I was on mute. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So today at Boldfinity we have Mr. Mukesh Jain. Currently, he's with 25 years of experience leading multinational companies like Microsoft, Geo, and VFS Global. The portfolio that includes his business has been product engineering, big data analytics, blockchain, and chatbots. He has been leading businesses globally and delivering innovative results for Capgemini for the last 2.5 years. Also, he has been an author of two books. One of them has been delivering successful projects with Team Software Process and Six Sigma and Web Performance Improvement. He has been awarded 25 in the 25 top most innovative HRs in September 2016 by Times Asia Pacific. He's a licensed Carnegie Mellon University TSP coach and also a BITS Pilani alumni with MTech in analytics. So I would like to hear and get inspired from your journey. How did you start from being as a software developer at Datamatics till the CTO of Capgemini? So the stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Hello. Good afternoon. Good evening to all of you. A brief introduction. 25 years in the industry. Always was passionate about data. Right from my years at Microsoft, where 13 years I was there in Seattle, focusing on how to build large-scale products. I'm sure some of you use Outlook. I built Outlook in the year 1999, and also had the honor to write Microsoft's first ever AI algorithm in 1999. I was never certified or had a certification or degree in data science, but I always was passionate about something to do with data. Just 1 second. Yeah, my video is on now. Okay, but I always realized that something to do with data can be there. When I came to know that Bill Gates gets 15 to 16,000 junk email per day, I raised my hand saying that, can I try and solve this problem? It worked. Earlier model was looking at the keywords in the email you get and identifying if it's spam or not. Obviously, it was not working because if after that algorithm also, if you're able to get 15, 16,000 junk email, something was wrong. The junk sender were smarter than us. So I came up with this model wherein humans' behavior on the email can be tracked. You'll notice you get less junk in Outlook than Gmail. You can thank me for that. Worked there about 13 years, multiple roles. Bill Gates initially, then of course I also worked with Satya Nadella for building the whole analytics backbone for Microsoft. Came back to India, 2011. Worked for Geo and a couple of other companies. One thing always there that I was passionate about teaching and coaching. So I started teaching at IIT, IIM, BITS Pilani, and also now teach at tier 3 colleges. And I'm advisor to 9 universities, and I also partner or associate with the institutes like Board Affinity and other places where I do that, and I focus on coaching. How can we make the next best career in the data science people? I'm a professional coach as well. 2 books I've already written. 3rd book I'm writing right now. Currently, as my role as Chief Technology Innovation Officer at Capgemini, I focus on future of AI analytics. That's what my passion always is. And let's start with this. People are always busy, or at least we think we are busy. The fact that you all have spent time 4:30 p.m. Saturday evening looking at this session, which means you are serious about learning something new. Okay, I hope I will not disappoint you today. Now let's look at this element. I'm not a big fan of Facebook, but I have a lot of students who follow me on Facebook and LinkedIn. Sometimes they post some good pictures like this. I shamelessly copy them and put them in my presentation. Advice. Whom do you get your advice from? Okay. 1998, my friend's brother got a job in Intel. I was fascinated by that. I said, wow, what it takes to get a job in Intel or Microsoft? Google or Facebook, tha nahi wo time pe. He said, Mukesh, forget it. You can never get into Microsoft. I said, why not? There's no Mukesh. You don't have a master's degree. You're not from IIT. Your English is poor. 10 reasons he gave me why I cannot get. Disappointed, mental block. Mental block, I can never get into Microsoft. September 1998, while surfing the internet, I found a place, apply for a job in US. Yes, I want to apply. Which company you want to apply? Of course, Microsoft. Why should I reject Microsoft? Let Microsoft reject me. पूछने में क्या जाता है? I applied, I got an interview call, multiple interviews happened and everything. I thought my friends are playing prank with me because at that time, there was no mobile phone and email was not very common. People used to directly call you. Okay, no caller ID, nothing. I thought somebody's playing prank. But when they sent me a letter in the email saying they come to Seattle for face-to-face interview, then I realized it was real. And I got a job in Microsoft. Had I listened to my friend, I would have never gotten a job in Microsoft. Remember that. Get the advice from the right people, right? Advice and coaching. The topic of the day, data analytics. Why? Why do you need data analytics? How can you build a career in that, right? Let me talk about the why part of it. Users have choice. One line statement. You notice yourself. I'm sure some of you use Uber, some of you like Ola, some of you use something else. Let's say you're booking a cab for you to go to the airport or some place from one place to other place, and you're booking Uber, and it shows like this. How many seconds are you going to wait? 7.2. That's the average of India. The patience level we have in India is 7.2 seconds. After that, what we do? We kill the app and then move to the other app, which is Ola or taxi or a rickshaw, and we just move on. That's the threshold level we have. 7.2 seconds, that's it. Users have choice. Same thing for Swiggy, Zomato, Amazon, and Flipkart, all those places we have choice. When we have choice, we move on. Now, when you move on from Ola to Uber or Flipkart to Amazon, do you actually call them and say, hey, by the way, this is not happening successfully. That's why I've stopped using your app and I'm going to other app. Do you do that? No, nobody does that. 2006, Microsoft launched Hotmail to Gmail just because of that, because nobody was monitoring how Hotmail is performing in the India market. People moved on. That's how fast it is. You don't call. Free service, definitely you don't call. Because the expectation for people now is anytime, anywhere, on any device. That was a mantra for Microsoft for 2 decades. It's coming real now. 5 years back, it started becoming real. That yes, you should be able to do anything and everything on your mobile phone. And if you want to retain the customer, you better understand, listen to the customer, not based on the feedback, based on the signals they send, digital signals. Need to understand the usage. There's a growing need of data science. You would have seen all the reports. Every few days, there's a news article on data science. I was interviewed by Economic Times few weeks back, and they featured the interview on the front page, talking about what the future of data science is and how people can learn and then be ready for those. Because organizations want to compete on data and analytics. Compete. What does that mean? Compete means I have the data, I will understand my user, I will give the best service possible so they don't go to the other client, other competitors. That's what the item is, by the way. Okay. Now let's talk about a decision. Decision. How do you take decision? By flipping a coin? I'm sure no, right? Decision. There's a concept I created, highest individual paid person's opinion. 1999, when I thought some people are taking decisions without data. I said, why? Why don't you use data? And then people were not agreeing to this. So I created a small toy, soft toy, which was to do with hippopotamus, black color, with hippo written on top of it, with a message, highest individual paid person's opinion. Anytime somebody will make a decision without data, I'll take that hippopotamus, put one step ahead. People used to hate me. People used to tell me, Mukesh, you and your hippo. What does the data say? I would say that was a good start of looking at data. I'm talking about 21 years back story, like long time back. Why do you need data? Why do you need to take a decision? Everywhere there is a decision. Where should the ad be placed? Should I show the ad? Should I show you the salary.com ad? Should I show you the Pizza Hut ad? All those things are decision making. I'm talking about this because I wrote this algorithm for Microsoft Bing search engine, wherein how to decide which ad to be shown to which user at what point of time. Okay, home loan. You go and apply for a home loan. Should I give you the home loan or not? Should I give you the credit card or not? All those things are decision making. Which video should be shown to you next? I was watching a YouTube video a few months back. I wanted to go getting nostalgic. I wanted to watch some video which are 25-year old. I'm not that old, by the way. So I decided to go and watch some old video. I searched for it. I got the video. I started watching it. was good. After the video, I was too lazy to go and press the stop button. The next video started, and the next video started, and the next video. All videos from the same era, 25-year-old. I loved it. That's what the power of recommendation engine is. That day, probably I spent more than 2 hours on YouTube watching those. I'm sure YouTube made a lot of money with that as well. Okay, that is what I'm talking about, the power of recommendation with data. Recommendation engine, e-commerce. Amazon makes 65% of the sale on Amazon books happen because of recommendation engine. Wow, that's a lot. Which means out of 3 books sold, 1 book is based on the search, 2 books are because of the recommendation engine. 200% more sale you can do by recommendation engine. No wonder there are highest paid jobs there, right? Supply chain, logistics, when to release a movie. I'm consulting one movie house, a production house, about when to position the movie, considering the pandemic. Which region, what area, and should we just release it on Amazon Prime or Netflix? All those parts. And most important, why are people leaving the app? Everything around data. Some of the famous quotes on the data, as you can see. Numbers have important story to tell. You just need to give them a voice. Okay? You can have data without information, but not information without data. Okay. And then of course, a lot of things are, and our own Mukesh Ambani, right? Data is the new oil. All those power of data is there. Now, when I talk about data, what do I really mean by data? Right? Data is nothing but your values of qualitative and quantitative measurement. Qualitative and quantitative measurement. Qualitative, your grapher orders is delivered, and you pop up a message. Please rate your service 1 to 5. You rate 5. Quantitative measurement. You write down, yeah, everything was good, but the packaging was not good, blah, blah, blah. Qualitative measurement. Structured, unstructured. Numeric value, unstructured. So you would notice a lot of things are unstructured, unstructured data as well. 96.1% of the data in the world is unstructured. Picture abhi baki hai. Lot more can be done in this area compared to structured data, which is 3.9%. So all the things we are learning in data science, slowly we can move our horizon from structured to unstructured data to get the full value of data. Okay. Remember, most of the reference material you will read, it will say every activity generates data. I don't believe in that. I believe every activity or inactivity generates data. Look at you. You have been watching this content since 4:30 p.m. today evening. You're active on this call, but you're not active on your WhatsApp. People trying to reach you will see last seen 4:30 p.m. IST. That's your inactivity. Inactivity also generates data. That's how you can find out why this person is not buying. What can I do with the data? Because once you buy from a site, and if you don't go back there, of course, they may lose. So how do you encourage more and more people to come to the site again and again and again? Right? I'm not talking about like marketing, like bombarding everybody with emails and call and all those things. No, I'm talking about inherent. When the right time comes, the right ad comes to you, so on and so forth. Because data tells a lot about somebody. Think about the intent. Let me give you an example of intent. 2020. What comes to your mind of 2020? I'm sure cricket, right? By the way, 2020 there is a book by Dr. Abdul Kalam. 2020 there is a Parle Biscuit. 2020 iVision. 2020 year of COVID, and 2020 weight loss program in US. 2020 talk show in UK. If 2020 has so many meaning, how do you know that what are you referring to? Data analytics. Somebody said, oh, don't worry, Mukesh. If you just type 2020 in India, we'll show cricket. But even in India, there's a book by Abdul Kalam. Why don't you show that? Parle Biscuit, why not? Important element is if an American come to India and say 2020, eat Parle Biscuit. Wrong. But he's looking for a weight loss program. No, play cricket. Again, wrong. The whole power is about data analytics. Understanding, using data, what is going on in your mind. Okay. And all privacy, information, privacy, everything is respected. I contributed to the Niti Aayog committee wherein we're talking about the data protection law. I gave my own recommendation about what else should be there as part of privacy of the data so that people don't abuse or misuse the data. Okay. Of course, this in the final draft stage, once it is approved, this will become a law in India. Okay. All the thing I talked about is useless if you don't put a dollar or rupee symbol before that, which means it needs to tie back to the value. Now, when I talk about analytics, what comes to your mind, right? It is a scientific process. Data analytics is a scientific process of delivering insights from data, extensive use of facts, statistical, explanatory, predictive, which will help you drive decisions and action to get business value. So whole part, like a Wikipedia definition, right? But important element is explanatory. Can you explain with the data? Okay, insights from the data, and then ending with value, business value. If it's not there, the analytics program is useless. Now let me go one level deep into this. So the whole journey starts with data, right? No, it starts with measurements. Somebody have to measure to be able to generate the data. Who that person is? The architect and the software developers of the world are the one who actually will help you write the code which will generate the data which you want, the format which you want. It starts with that measurements. You get the data, and then the data becomes information. How does it make information? Let me give you an example. If I tell you that one of the store near you, like let's say DMart or Big Bazaar or something, Spencer, made a sale of 10 lakh rupees last Sunday, let's say. 10 lakh rupees last Sunday. Okay, good or bad? You might say, some people may say good, some people may say, I don't know. Yes, you don't know because it is just the data. The information becomes when you say, by the way, the same store usually have an average of 6 lakh rupees. Then it's good. Information is, I have the information, it's good. But wait a minute. Every Sunday, it normally have 10 lakh rupees sale. Oh, then it's bad. So you're actually moving from the data to the information, you're getting insights. What happened? Why it go up? Why did it go down? Your insights are there. Having those together and your data analytics program, you'll be able to start doing your predictions, forecast. What will happen? If you do this, what will happen? I'm sure all of you would know, in India, most of the grocery related sale happens from 1st to 7th of the month. Most, 80%, 1st to 7th of the month. Which means what? Yes, demand is high. At the same time, heavy grocery sale happens on the weekends, Sunday followed by Saturday. If I combine these two data, what does that mean? First Sunday of every month have the highest sale. No wonder Grocers and Big Baskets send you all the messages in the first of the month, right? Monday you start getting those messages also. Predictive, prescriptive, what should be done? What is the right offer we should offer? What is the right combination of those? Those are all your prescriptive analytics. So that you can take decisions. Decision, should I stock more sugar? Or should I stock more of this? It is summer. Should I stock more Coke or orange juice? What is all happening there? That's your decision. Based on the decision, you take action, which results into business outcome. So the whole journey I explained, from the data to the decision to the action to the results with the dollar and the rupee symbol. Ultimately, it boils down to that. How can I use the power of data? The demand is huge. I'll talk about the demand as well. But the important part to know is, how do you understand the value of data and then learn from it? Have the right set of coaching given to you so that you can do value out of it. Okay. Now let's talk about junk filter. I talked about junk filter, right? The important part of the junk filter was, it was personalized. Now I'll share the algorithm, how simple the algorithm was. Are you going to read a junk email for more than 5 seconds? Are you going to delete an important email in less than 3 seconds? No, right? That exactly is the junk filter. Simple user behavior. But now the whole engine goes behind that to capture the time you took to email, you read it multiple times, you delete it without reading. All those elements together makes me the data. And then apply the machine learning model to do prediction. Using artificial intelligence, I try to do the balancing act and say, yes, these emails are junk, these emails are potentially not junk, because I have to be careful. An important email does not get marked as junk. These do happen once in a while, but combination of all these makes a junk filter. Data, the power of data. Some of you might think, oh, it's very obvious, simple. Yes, that's the point. It is obvious, simple, because when you think it is obvious, simple, and then just translating into the data part of it, getting the power of data, and you get the output. Okay, good. Now, crash analytics. I'm sure you would have seen this button most of the time. When I came up with this idea that how about we capture the crash and our crash data from our software products at Microsoft, my manager told me, Mukesh, that's the most pathetic idea I ever heard. I said, seriously? I actually created the software, small app on the desktops, and people click the button whenever it used to crash. Some of my friends and family friends, they click on the button and I got the data. I got enough data to create reports and send to people that this is how I crashing. People liked it. One fine day, I got a call from Bill Gates' office that did you do this? I said yes. I was not sure whether it's a punishment for me or a reward. They said, Mukesh, this is really good. Why don't you make it part of the office? I said, "Aap bologe to ho jayega." I said in English, by the way. Okay, and then it was done. The whole system was built. And you see now, anytime you crash, you see this button, send as a report. It is capturing the data. My manager said it only very few people will click on it, and he was right. Only 1.4% people clicked on it, but that's enough. When the product is used by 300 million people, 1.4% is more than enough. Search. I'm sure you do search. When you do the search, what do you see? Search results, blue color links. Ever thought about why those colors are blue? The curiosity, the jigyasa, the questioning ability. Sometimes we have those when as a childhood, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year young, we have those parts. I'm sure some of you have a kid at home, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year young, and then they ask this question and all. Unfortunately, some of their parents, some of their teachers kill the curiosity after a few years. I keep having my curiosity. I ask this question, why this color is blue? And the person gave me some gyan and he was right. He said the blue color is a color of trust. Blue color is the color of data. That's why it's blue color. I said, okay, but I was not 100% convinced. I said, that's fine, but what about shade of blue? This is also blue color. There are a lot of other blue shades. I'm sure you have seen this. In Asian Paint, there used to be ad, Mera Wala blue, like my favorite shade of blue. Okay. So now, when I asked this question, he said, Mukesh, what is in your mind? Can you tell me? I said, I want to run an experiment to see which shade of blue gives me the better results. Curiosity. He liked the idea. We ran an experiment. 10% of the randomly selected people were given a lighter shade, another 10% slightly higher. 10 different shades of blue given to 10%. Globally, ran for 2 weeks. The shade we were using at that time was number 5. So, either. Right? You know, right? Shoulder dialogue. We found out that 9th darker shade of blue gave us the highest click-through rate. 2 days later, we changed the color of blue. Search result. Telecom, my favorite, Jio. Naam to suna hoga. September 2016, when this was launched, you would have seen the quality of Jio network was increasing, improving every week, every month. You can thank me for that again. I created this clustering technique, machine learning technique, where it was capturing the data to see where the bars are. That's why it was given free. If your Jio phone was not working, what would you do? You will do this. Yes, it is working now. The data was captured. Which location in India, Mumbai, or whatever region where it was working, not working, the data was captured. And the telecom team will go and fix it if the number of bars you are getting is 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or something like that. And there are thousands of people not getting the connection. Fix it at first. Then 500, then 200, then 100. And then you can decide whether do you really want to fix that. 1% not getting the connection. Your choice. Data. Machine learning techniques. Okay. Of course, I can go on and on and on and on. I actually conduct this workshop and a 4 days workshop hands-on to go through all of those when I'm teaching this in IIT, IIMs, and several institutes. But you get an idea. This is just one of webinar just to give you the perspective. Be it in marketing, be it in identity, risk, customer, transaction, everywhere there's opportunity. Opportunities with data. Be it segmentation, targeting. I hate when I get calls from the same bank where I have account and they say, "Sir, आपको credit card चाहिए?" अरे यार, तुम्हारा ही credit card use कर रहा हूँ मैं यार. बोलो तो मैं cancel कर देता हूँ. Right? So those things because they are not using the data. Right? One fine day, one of my bank, I will not name the bank. My FD was matured and automatically got renewed without my knowledge. I got an SMS that your FD is renewed. I didn't want it because that the rate was not good. So I went ahead and cancelled it immediately. As soon as I cancelled, I started getting calls. Sir, personal loan चाहिए. अरे यार, data देखो ना. I cancelled on the same day it was the thing. So it's not that I'm in need of money. It's that the rate is bad. Okay, it was fine then. Like those things need to be improved. I'm not complaining. I'm talking about the opportunities. Like those are so many opportunities. Customer, right? Demand sensing. Next best action. If the customer have done this, what is the best thing we can sell to this customer again? Transactions. Can I detect the fraud? I wrote some of the algorithms for fraud and anti-money laundering in my previous role. Okay. Each one of us have a pattern of withdrawing money from the bank. Agree? Right? It could be 5,000 rupees per week, 10,000 rupees, or whatever the pattern would be. People withdraw. But during demonetization, things have changed. During COVID, things have changed. Except those parts. But if you look at the pattern, have changed. Now I'm doing a lot more digital transaction than actually keeping money in my wallet. But yes, I still have to keep it because some person will say, "Nahi sahab, 3% ज़्यादा लूँगा मैं, 5% ज़्यादा लूँगा." And people are asking that. So in those cases, forget it. Either just give it digital or just pay the cash and move on. Okay. But the important part is withdrawal pattern. If I know that your withdrawal pattern is 5,000 to 7,000 rupees per week, and suddenly you withdraw 40,000 rupees today, 48,000 rupees tomorrow, 48,000 rupees day after tomorrow, something is wrong, right? Why 48,000? Your 50,000, your PAN number goes to the income tax department saying that this person has withdrawn 50,000. So you're just running below the mark. Maybe there's a genuine reason. There's a family function, wedding is there in your house, or Diwali, you want to give kids, cash gift, whatever those could be. Some patterns can be done. My algorithm caught some of the bureaucrats in US on doing money laundering. Anyway, what are the opportunities? When I say opportunities, I'm talking about jobs and opportunity. Harvard Business Review, 8 years back, published an article, the sexiest job of 21st century. 8 years back. And you can see it's getting reality. Last year, on exactly the same time frame, last year, Bloomberg mentioned $500 billion economy. Huge opportunity. There's a huge shortage of data scientists. I don't know if you have seen my LinkedIn post. I posted Capgemini is hiring now 25,000 employees right now. And big portion of them is on data science. Okay, this is public news. So now, which means so many projects, not enough data scientists. Huge opportunity across. And by the way, don't take my words, right? Just go to LinkedIn, search for data science job, you will see. You can see the pattern also. The company, the kind of jobs and all. Some people say, oh, they're asking for so much experience. Arey, puchne mein kya jata hai? Apply. I got into Microsoft and they were asking for C++. I had zero knowledge about C++. I got into Microsoft. It's possible. Yes, we look for experienced people. But if you don't get, you settle. As long as you're showing the passion for learning new things and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, what is the expectation? Let's say you do a good job, you have got trained, you got some good coaching from some people. That's what I do. Like last 10 years since I'm in India, I've been coaching a lot of people to get their dream job. Typically people at the experience level and all. And that's the same question people ask. Because what do it is, how do I get there? What all this question, and I'll be able to respond. But main thing is, can we get your dream job in, let's say, 6 months or so? There are lots of courses available, by the way. Okay. So how to get there? Okay. So first of all, do you understand how things work? The expectation from these roles are, you should be able to talk about how things work. A simple question I'll ask you, by the way, how Google Map works. And depending on the answer, I can relate whether we are the curious mindset. Do you understand how things work? Doesn't need to know somebody in Google to tell you what it does. Just curiosity. Some people will give satellite images, some people will give blah, 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 whatever those are. Okay. But that gives you your thought process. Somebody who can leverage the power of data and then deliver business value. Those are some of the good parts. And then understanding the data analytics model, like clustering, regression, classification, decision tree, so many models, neural network. People say, no, I'm going to do deep learning. Pehle basic to seekho. Start with the basics first. Okay. Ability to come up with the idea. Wow, I have new idea. I can solve this problem using data. Those are some of the new age demand, right? Somebody who's continuously learning, who can upskill themselves and understand the business is important. I like this model of T model, right? Which is jack of all trade, master of some. I change the phrase. I don't like the none part. You need to be expert in one area and then know knowledge of other things. Now, it boils down to 3 areas. Your curiosity, which I talked about a couple of times, your attitude, and of course, aptitude. Okay. So now what does that really mean? So curiosity is your jigyasa, the thing to learn more and more and more. Your attitude that yes, you can solve this problem with data. The positive attitude towards that. And of course, your actual hardcore skills, the aptitude part of it, right? Do you understand data? Can you believe the data? Can you look at the patterns? You use Python, Excel, all those things coming together in your aptitude part of it. But if you still see this, the bucket is still smaller than curiosity. There's for the reason for that. Because if you don't have right curiosity level, you may not even get value out of it. So it's more to do with psychological thing plus the data. Of course, you can have your curiosity, but you don't learn. Of course, there's no value there as well. So coming to my last couple of slides, what are the careers? You could be getting into management, business, statistics, or technology. If you have done technology, if you have done programming, go for technology. Otherwise, don't even bother getting that. It is, you require software development knowledge, some experience and all, like big data, data engineer, the architects, the software engineer, database admin, ML ops engineer, all those things require hardcore programming. If you're not done this, don't go there. Then comes your statistics part. Whereas at statistics, there's somebody who is BSc stats or masters of statistics will do good, but you can learn. Okay. Now, if you are learning data science right now and you have software development background, go for technology track. I would say that is a track which is giving the highest salary right now. Okay. Why? Because people need those experts who can build a system and do those parts. Then comes the statistics track. People who hardcore with data and all. The roles are very, very important. People who are hardcore. Some people who have done data science course, they are really good at numbers. They can crack this. They become the true data scientist. The artificial intelligence ninja, ML engineers, data modeler, data analysts, all those come into the statistics portion. Okay. Then come the business. You have been there 8 years, 10 years, and now you are doing this additional part. You think very well. You come up with new ideas, crazy ideas to build some new use cases. You want to get into startup, or you want to get into Microsoft, Google, and Facebook kind of thing. As a product manager, somebody who can come up with the idea of what the new product would be built. That's the product manager part of it. The business analyst, you're talking to the client and you're getting some ideas, translating that into requirement. That's a business analyst. The business development part, the pre-sales, talking to the team, talking to the business, coming up with a new idea, marketing, sales, all those things in the business side of it. And of course, the management side of it, right? After 15 years, 20 years, you could be the data science head, or you could be in the senior management. You are the sponsor of data science. Okay, a unit head, a business head, or you could be the CEO. It is there for anybody and everybody. Okay, so now if you are if you are into manufacturing and you learn data, definitely you will be focusing into the business side of it, the statistics side of it, and even the technologies for some matter. So it's a good combination. These are the careers of future. There might be several more which evolve over a period of time. Today, go to LinkedIn and search any job. 70% chance that there is an analytics word in that job, any job for that matter, which means 70% of the people, 70% of the jobs of future are talking about data, and the number is going to go up, not down. So in conclusion, there are top 30 technologies of the future, starting with artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, mobile, all those things are there. But the most important part is data. If you look at it, artificial intelligence, data. Internet of Things, data. Mobile internet, data. Blockchain, data. Everywhere there is data. The whole part of data component are there big time. And the last slide, my personal learning. People ask me, how did you get here so far? I would say a lot of these things with God's grace, but also some of my principles which I always abide by. So first and foremost, पूछने में क्या जाता है? Try. If you try, there is some chance of getting it. If you don't try, there is 100% chance of not getting it. Right? A person with a new idea is crying until the idea succeeds. Important to remember this part, because otherwise what will happen is you always think, अरे यार लोग क्या कहेंगे? What if the idea fails? It's okay. Let people think about it. Most of my success so far was because of the crazy idea. And I can tell you, more than 50% of my idea failed also. But that's fine. Who is counting? Excel without result is noise. Remember this point. It's not just the activity what you do. You need to also talk about the results. The thing I like the most is, if somebody else can find a mistake, why can't you yourself find? May not be relevant directly to data science, but it is important to know that it all boils down to how perfect are you in terms of what you are doing. Point number 5, I copied from 3 Idiots. Focus on knowledge and marks and success will follow. Okay, knowledge, data science knowledge, the data knowledge, whatever that could be. Point number 6 is all about coaching. As I told you, last 10 years since I'm in India, I've been doing a lot of professional coaching, helping people move from the director to VP role, VP to CXO roles, and so on. The word Shubchintak comes very, very useful. I could have written well-wisher also, but Hindi word have better meaning than the English words. Shubchintak, somebody who can give you candid feedback, somebody who can coach and guide you, tell you on your face, you are wrong. Rather sugarcoating, yeah, things are okay, but sugarcoating, I don't like it. Plan, estimate, track, and improve. Say what you do what you say. Those are some of the good professional etiquette you can do. There's learning in everything. So I can tell you that whatever I do, I always collect data, learn. There's amazing learning opportunities. So you keep doing that. And do what you enjoy. I can tell you in my 25 plus years experience, maybe there was a time of 6 months where I didn't enjoy what I was doing. Otherwise, every time I was enjoying. The day I realized I'm not enjoying, I leave the job. And by the way, I got paid for that. So I was doing what I was enjoying. I was doing my hobby, and I got paid for that. And of course, give time back to community. This is how I give back my time to community, so that you can learn from my experience, from my learnings, and hopefully make a better career for you. With that, I'm going to pause here, take any question you may have, and happy to connect with you on Facebook or LinkedIn. Over to you, Vivek, for any questions.
Thank you so much, sir. That was an inspiring session. A few questions from my side. So when the students want to start a career in data science or data analyst, how do they find which company suits them? Which company should they look after as that is the right company for me to work for? How do they align the vision of the company with themselves? Because at the starting of the career, you don't know what to do.
Very good question. In fact, that is something which I like when people ask this question, because sometimes what happens is we typically go with the flow. Whatever jobs comes in and you take it. Okay. I can tell you, except for one company in my career, I will not name them. But otherwise, every company I was my chosen by me. That yes, I want to join this company and I want to work for this company. It is important for you to look at the company website, look at the ethics. You can look at the things where they are. Either they are in the good news, either they are in news for good reason or bad reason. That's the reason I'm not joining some of the company. People keep telling me, Mukesh, why don't you join this black company or black company? I said, no, I don't believe in their policy or ethics policy and so on and so forth. That's the first part of it. Second part of it is you have to also see, there might be some good people you have in your connection. I'm a big fan of networking on LinkedIn and Facebook. So a lot of my, like, you name a company, there's a high chance that I will have at least one person in that company. Okay. So what if I'm talking to, I'll connect to that person and see what the person have to talk about their company, and accordingly I'll see I can learn from their company and see whether they are really good. What is the policy? What is the culture? I want to learn from those. So that is the second point I do. And third point, go to the LinkedIn website, look at those companies, what kind of jobs they have published, and then see whether it aligns with your passion and so on. The job, don't look at it as a job, look at it as a career. Okay, you will be able to say that, yes, I think this is how I want to do. I would like to be doing this. I would like to be solving the problem. Just to give you an example, I've always been a product company. I worked in Microsoft and Geo and a couple of serious big companies. And when I decided, no, I think I've done enough of product company, I want to now get into service company. I want to join a company who have had ethically high ground, and also I will get opportunity to do what I want, plus interact with client. Capgemini came to my mind because I interacted with some people in the past, and I can tell you, in my 2.5 years, I totally Capgemini living by their values of work ethics, consistently coming high in that, and also the opportunity to do what you want, and of course, getting to meet a lot of my clients and do some of the sales work which I've never done in my career. So I would say those are some of the principles you should use to choose which company you want to join. Don't just join because the company is giving you data scientist job. Join the company because there are values, and you will grow in data science job to your destination. It could be the chief technology officer, it could be the chief data officer, and all. The growth path should be there in that company. That's how you should look at it.
I think that's one of the great options to start with. And thank you so much, sir. I would hand over to my CEO, Mr. Sumesh Nair, and he would be
Absolutely.
concluding the session.
Sure. Shumesh, you are on mute. That's my favorite dialogue for last 1 year.
Hi, Mukesh. Good to have you here. And thank you so much for actually simplifying a lot of things in analytics. There are a lot of hype behind analytics. In fact, my personal story is that I started in this industry probably 10, 11 years back in a company called Mu Sigma when it was pretty small at that
Yeah,
point.
I remember that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of hype around analytics these days, and there is less of what do you call signal and more of noise. And what I could gather out of the session is that you were tremendously well in explaining concepts to the simplest level and trying to engage the audience in making them understand these things. First of all, thank you for that. Second, it is also great to see someone senior who's very relentless about. Explaining data science to youngsters and trying to tell them how to get into the industry and trying to develop the future of the workforce in this area. I think that's a tremendous thing. A lot of business leaders should also focus on, apart from driving the business part. So it lends a more holistic view into how to build the industry per se. So thank you for that. And third, I'm sure the viewers had a lot of questions. We will take some of them offline in the interest of time. But I wanted to personally make sure that I come and thank you during this event and for making it a good success. We have had quite a few viewers on the YouTube side. We've got a lot of response also from that. So thank you for that, Mukesh. Thank you for spending this Saturday afternoon with aspirants who want to be in the data science field. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure for me. And my record is that I never declined any of the invites to share my knowledge. And by the way, this was my 2514th lecture.
Wow.
Last 10 years in India.
Oh, very nice, Mukesh. Very nice to hear that. And I think every session is also increasing your energy rather than decreasing it. I am sure that's how it is.
That's how I get my energy. Yes, that is correct. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Mukesh.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good rest of the evening and weekend. Bye.